So how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So I've been getting a lot of requests to continue doing ranking videos and stuff. I used to do a lot of ranking videos and this sort of style of video back in the day. So I figured I'd make another ranking video. And if this is something that you guys enjoy, then please give the video a thumb up. That lets me know that you guys are interested in this. And if you guys enjoy it, I'll continue to make more of these videos. Now before we get into this list, I want to let you guys know that this list is comprised of things that have happened in Star Wars games that I have personally played myself. There's obviously a crap ton of Star Wars games that have been released over the years, and it's just not possible for me to have played every single Star Wars moment. I know a lot of you guys are going to scream, "Where's Knights of the Old Republic?" Because anytime I make a video like this, everyone always asks about Knights of the Old Republic, and I've never played Knights of the Old Republic. So if there's a moment that you guys know of that have happened in a Star Wars video game that you guys love that didn't make it in this video, let me know what it is down in the comment section down below. And before we jump into the list, I just want to let you guys know that there are a bunch of spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled on any Star Wars games, now's your chance to turn away now. And with that warning out of the way, if you guys don't care about spoilers, then let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So jumping right into the list, starting off at number 10, I have the original Star Wars Battlefront from 2004. And specifically, I have the map where you play out in the Dune Sea, and there's a Sarlacc pit. Now when you play on this map, there's a huge epic battle. I mean, it's the Stormtroopers versus the Rebels, and they even added a third faction, which was the Tusken Raiders, and the Tusken Raiders were no joke. They were a force to be reckoned with, and sometimes the Tusken Raiders did better than both the Rebels and the Empire. It's a real shame that this map wasn't in Star Wars Battlefront II in 2005, because this is one of my favorite maps from the original, but this map was special because it had the Sarlacc pit, and this Sarlacc pit had some reach to it. It had like all these tentacles, and they would reach out and grab everybody. If you came anywhere near the Sarlacc pit, it would grab you and kill you. And obviously, if you fell into the Sarlacc pit, you would die as well. And it was just a cool part of the terrain. It added something a little bit different. You had to worry about the two opposing factions and the environment at the same time. And it was just really cool. It really stands out to me, this map in particular, when I think about Star Wars Battlefront, the original. And it was just a lot of fun. And that's why it made this list at number 10. And then coming in at number 9, we have Super Star Wars. Now for me personally, this game made the list just because this was the very first Star Wars game that I have ever played. My dad bought me this when I was a kid, and I played the crap out of it. I would say the first level probably stands out to me the most because you're just playing on Tatooine as Luke, and I died a lot as a kid, so I'd obviously have to play the first mission over and over and over. So this first mission sort of stands out to me, but a lot of the missions in this game were pretty fun. Surprisingly for the time, it actually did do a good job of staying close to the movies. Now, it is a little loosely based on some of the stuff in the movie, like the levels reflect the movie, but the gameplay, I mean, they added some monsters and stuff that obviously aren't in the movie. But overall, it was a really fun game, and for those of you that have played this game for yourselves, especially if you were a kid like me when you played it, it probably also stands out to you as one of the greatest Star Wars gaming moments. And it was just a really fun experience, and I'm glad that I got into that game because it helped get me into Star Wars. So coming up at number 8, we have the Battlefront 2015 gameplay demo. Now when Battlefront 2015 was announced, I was through the roof excited. We hadn't had a Star Wars Battlefront game in over 10 years, and it was well overdue. Everyone was excited. This game sold a crap ton of copies, and when you saw the gameplay trailer for the very first time, and you saw Hoth and just how realistic it looked, you saw Darth Vader, you saw the explosions, there's just something about that is so nostalgic. It was so cool to experience that. And when you played on the demo for yourself and you got to experience just how freaking cool it was, you got to switch between first and third person. The sound design was amazing. I remember going into a bubble shield and just hearing all the blaster bolts ping off of the bubble shield and hearing that sound. Or the sound of the thermal imploders. It was just amazing. I was completely blown away at the time. Now this was before the final game came out, and I realized there was only like 4 or 5 maps in the game in general, and it was a pretty big disappointment at launch. But before I knew that, the demo I absolutely adored, and it really stands out to me as a great moment. So up next at number 7, it's a real shame that there's not very many people that got to experience this, but it's Vader Immortal, and more specifically fighting Darth Vader. So Vader Immortal is one of the coolest Star Wars video game experiences I've ever got to experience. You feel like you're in the Star Wars universe. You're wearing that headset, you get to pick up different blasters, you get to move around with a lightsaber, you get force powers. It feels so freaking cool to feel like you're in the Star Wars universe. And when you finally go up against Darth Vader, you just have this sense of fear, like, holy crap, I'm actually about to face Darth Vader in a 1v1 fight. I'm totally going to lose. And it was kind of intimidating, like looking up and seeing Darth Vader is taller than you and he's like right up in your face. It was pretty scary and it was a really cool moment. It's just a real shame that VR isn't that affordable and there's not too many people that get to experience virtual reality, because I think this game would be on a lot of people's lists if they got to experience it, because it's really fun. And then up next at number 6, I have Star Wars Battlefront II from 2017, but more specifically the map of Naboo and the throne room. Now there's a lot of things that I could have included in Star Wars Battlefront 2, because I mean there's a lot of epic moments that happen, but for me, when I play online and I play on that Naboo map, there has been so many times that throne room has gotten completely out of control, especially during quick respawn events. That throne room can go on for like 10 to 15 minutes depending on how balanced the teams are. If you have two equally balanced teams, that throne room can get nuts. There's just tons of people running in there. The clones are piling in through the sides. All the droids are pushing up the stairs and trying to flank through the sides. They're running through with droidicas to try to keep the timer going on. There's like 4 heroes per team at once, and it's just complete chaos every time I play on that map at the end. And I wish more maps in Battlefront 2 were like that. I think Commando would have been a good example to benefit the same way as Naboo. But that Naboo map is just so much fun. It's by far my favorite map of the entire game. I think they did a great job designing it, and anytime I think of Battlefront 2, one of my favorite parts is always that Naboo throne room. So up next at number 5, we have the very first mission in Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Now, The Force Unleashed was a game loved by many. In fact, it was so loved they even made a sequel, and this game was not messing around with over-the-top force powers, getting to be a really cool Jedi, and there was just a lot of destruction in this game. And the very first mission, they let you play as Darth Vader. Now, I can't think of a better way to hook the player than getting to play as Darth Vader and just slaughtering Wookiees on Kashyyyk. I mean, that mission was so cool. I remember playing it for the first time and actually getting to witness the new engine that they had, and you could like force push objects and they would break into pieces, and it looked so realistic at the time. I was blown away. I loved walking through Kashyyyk, picking up Wookiees, throwing them off of the map, and just ragdolling Wookiees, because, I mean, you're Darth Vader. You're one of the most powerful Force users in the entire galaxy ever, of all time, and you felt powerful. And it was a really fun mission to play. I know this mission stands out for a lot of people, because this kept getting brought up over and over again when I asked you guys in the community what your favorite moments were, and I saw this pop up a few times. So this is obviously a fan favorite as well as mine, and that's why it's at number 5. So up next at number 4, we have Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 2005, but more specifically the campaign mission where you execute Order 66. Now on this mission, you're on Coruscant and you play as the clones, and you have to go and wipe out all the Jedi at the Jedi Temple. And after you take a certain amount of command posts, it lets you spawn in as Anakin, except this version of Anakin, he's wearing a hood, he's got his blue lightsaber, and you go around and you just fight Jedi as Anakin. And this mission really stands out to me because this was one of the only times you got to play as Anakin and he's wearing his hood in the game. And it was just something about this mission, playing as clones, getting to kill Jedi. There was a bunch of Jedi all over the place. Now this was a pretty difficult mission from what I can remember, because you have to defend the library and the Jedi were just straight up destroying all the books in the library. So it was pretty difficult. I always think of this mission when I think about Battlefront 2, and it was just something about this mission. It was fun, it was dark, and it reminded me a lot of the movie. And I actually got to play out what we didn't see in the movie, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then up next at number 3, we have Starkiller pulling down the Star Destroyer. Now this is a pretty epic moment in Star Wars gaming history. Before this point, there was never a Force user that was powerful enough to do anything like this, and Starkiller in this game is an absolute monster. He is so strong with the Force, and just getting to play through this was so unbelievably cool. I remember playing this for the first time and I had no idea what was going to happen, and you have to defend yourself from some TIE fighters, and then you have to to play this weird, like, wonky mini game where you had to position the sticks just right, and it was sometimes pretty difficult to do because it wasn't designed correctly. It was just kind of a pain in the butt. But once you finally complete it and you get to watch that cutscene of him pulling the Star Destroyer completely down from the sky and it crashing and stopping right in front of you, it was so epic. It's one of my favorite cutscenes in all of Star Wars gaming history. It's just so cool. The fact that somebody was that strong with the Force that they just manipulated an entire Star Destroyer. I mean, I remember watching episode 3 and seeing them kind of struggle throwing platforms in the Senate room, or even when Yoda has to move like Luke's TIE fighter, he sits there and kind of takes his time and he has to actually think about it. I mean, moving things with the Force isn't necessarily easy, and Starkiller just pulled down a Star Destroyer pretty much with ease. So it was a really badass scene, and that is why it's at number 3. And then up next at number 2, I have a mission from Republic Commando. Now, Republic Commando itself was such an epic game and brought on so many cool moments that I could make an entire video just on that game alone. But more specifically, there's a mission in Republic Commando that stands out to me because it just has this horror vibe to it. Now, the mission takes place on this abandoned Star Destroyer. You get this distress signal. You see a Star Destroyer is just floating out in space. It's been abandoned. Nobody's answering the comms. The power shut off, and it's just so spooky, and you're tasked to go inside and figure out what's going on. Where are all the clones? What happened? Like, why aren't they responding? And it is just so spooky. It's got this horror vibe. You're walking around these corners and you have no idea what's going on. All these thoughts are rushing through your mind, like what could have possibly have killed all these clones? You eventually find out that it's Trandoshans, which was pretty neat. And overall, I just loved that mission. Towards the end of this level, you have to get the power back up and running, and you have to defend yourself from battle droids that show up, and it was just so much fun. Anytime I think of Republic Commando, that mission always stands out to me in particular because it was just so much fun. And I loved it so much that I put it as number 2. Now, my number 1 favorite moment in Star Wars video games actually came as a surprise to me, but it's from Jedi Fallen Order. Now, Fallen Order was surprisingly a really good game. Anything made by EA always has me on the fence about things, but Respawn Entertainment just knocked it out of the park. The combat was fun, the gameplay was fun, the cutscenes were interesting, the characters were interesting. It was just overall a really good game. And when you get to the end of the game and they reveal that Darth Vader is there and he's like the true bad guy, and he kills the number 1 bad guy that you were supposed to be fighting this entire game. He just shows up, kills her, and then Darth Vader is the final boss. And I just love the way that they did this. They made Darth Vader so powerful that he doesn't even have a health bar. If you try to attack him, he just throws you off to the side. Your attacks do nothing to him, and he's just a beast. He is so powerful in this game. They really did Darth Vader justice. I would have been pretty upset if you actually got to beat up on Darth Vader as Cal, because it just wouldn't have made much sense because Cal isn't nearly as powerful as Darth Vader. So I really love that they respected Darth Vader in this game and the fact that you fear Darth Vader. And then he starts throwing stuff at you with the Force and you do have to run away with Vader. You can't even fight him. You just have to escape. I thought it was great, and because they did it so well, it's my number 1 favorite moment in all of Star Wars video games, and yeah, I think it's pretty deserving. But that does it for my list of my top 10 favorite moments in all of Star Wars gaming history. Now, like I said, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Now, there's still a lot of good Star Wars games that I played that just didn't make this list. For example, some Lego Star Wars moments. I played, I think, 2 or 3 Lego Star Wars games, and then there's a bunch of other Star Wars games that I've played over the years, but none of them really had moments that beat any of these top 10. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out in the algorithm and helps me out a bunch. If you guys want to see me stream, I stream now on Twitch at SwanyPlaysGames Live, so you guys can check me out there. And that is going to do it for this video, everyone, and I will talk to you all next time.